Welcome to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Eric and Rob.
All right, here we are back for the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. And this one's going to be bigger than ever. Taking place in Las Vegas at the Raiders Stadium. Huge. Probably the biggest SummerSlam venue of all time. This is probably going to be the real WrestleMania for 2021. Talking SummerSlam. I'm your host, The Real Big E. My co-host, Rob, the Ambassador. What's going on, sir? You ready for SummerSlam?
You know what, man? I am. I know WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of wrestling. I get it. But this is the biggest card of the year. We are going to have a full stadium, over 70,000 people in attendance at the Death Star. That's the nickname for the new Raiders Stadium.
It looks like it too, man. I've seen it.
It does. And I hope to make some trips there. I'm a Denver Bronco fan, and I definitely plan on going to some Bronco Raider games in Vegas because Vegas is as everybody knows, is a very happening city. But, yeah, man, look, I'm jacked about it. It's SummerSlam. Like you said, it's going to be one of the biggest crowds they've ever had at a SummerSlam. I know in '92, my favorite SummerSlam of all time, they did that in Wembley Stadium. It was headlined by Bret the Hitman Hart against Davey Boy Smith. Awesome moment. But, look, man, we've got Roman Reigns taking on Super Cena. And so this one could end up being even bigger. I'm not saying it'll be better, but it could end up being bigger.
I think that's going to get a huge crowd reaction, lot of participation, not just because of who the participants are, but the state of the world. You know, it's. We thought we were out of the woods. We thought people were doing the right thing, get the shots, and we would move forward. We would get rid of the masks, and that's just not the case now. The show is still happening. People are still going to be able to go, but the masks are mandated now. So, which all could have been prevented if everybody would have just bought in and did the right thing and wear your mask. But guess what, people? Now, you're going to have to, because these companies, these major corporations, are not going back to last year. And the government isn't giving out money. They're going to make you get vaccinated if you want to remain employed. Just how it's going to go. So.
Yeah, and, we don't want to lecture folks. And obviously, America is a free country, and we are proud that it's a free country. That's what we love about it. But the bottom line is this virus just isn't going to go away. You need to get vaccinated, just like polio wasn't just going to go away. People had to get vaccinated, and then over time, the disease will become less of a threat or a non-threat. We are not there yet, but we can still get there. I've had the vaccine. I've had both doses. Our esteemed host has had both doses. I'm going to be straight with you. That second dose, I got some chills and I had some fatigue. I'm a pretty healthy guy. It lasted about a day. And since then, I'm good. I've had hangovers. Okay, I've had hangovers worse than the after effects of this vaccine. So, and I'm sure most of you have too. If we're being honest here, we keep it real. If you're all keeping it real with us, then I know you've had some very bad hangovers. It didn't stop you from drinking, did it?
Right.
The after effects of this vaccine should not stop you from getting the vaccine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well said. And from there, I think we can honestly say this is going to be a great show. Unfortunately, I won't be here watching it. I'll be in a hotel room because I have obligations to fulfill. So I'll be watching in some small ass hotel, either on my laptop or on a TV. I don't know yet how I'm gonna do it, but either way, there'll still be a post show immediately following both SummerSlam and then NXT Takeover 36, which is the day after. So look forward to all of that. Now, let's get into these predictions. My good man, at the moment, time of this video, there are 10 matches slated. I'm gonna guess they're gonna add something just for the kickoff, or maybe 2 matches for that, just to get people bought in. But as far as the main card is concerned, I think we're good. So for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, got the Usos, Jimmy and Jay versus the Mysterios, Ray and Dominic. A rematch. We've seen this one before. It was pretty good at Money in the Bank. I gotta say, for a kickoff match, it was pretty good. Probably could have swapped something else out for that one, but hey, it is what it is. I think this will be the time where all 4 pull out all the stops. The Usos, we know, can go. Ray is a legend, and Dominic, so far on the main roster, hasn't disappointed, really. He's done everything he's been asked to do. He carried a feud with the Friday Night Idiot. So, you can do that.
Come on. No, come on now.
So I think it'll be good. But I'm still going to give the nod to the Usos. I don't think they're going to drop the belts. As long as Reigns is champ, at least for now, I think they're going to remain SmackDown Tag Team Champions. There's no reason to take it off of them, really.
I'm in agreement. I think the Usos retain. And I also think that we might start to see a little dissension between father and son, maybe leading up to something later down the line. We've kind of heard little rumblings. We've seen Ray kind of not chastise his son, but say, son, trying to give him some words of advice, some words of wisdom, saying, son, you need to do this. Son, you need to do that. And Dominic being like, yeah, okay, I hear you. I got you. To me, they could be leading up to a possible situation, I'll just say, between father and son somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would hold off for another year and then do it at Mania. I wouldn't do it this Mania coming up. I would hold it off to Hollywood even. Build it up. And you don't even have to keep them as a tag team during the entire time. You can let Ray go away for a while, let Dominic do his thing, and then you can bring the dad back in the picture, and you can just have him as in Dominic's corner, and then you can just, there's ways to go about it, is what I'm saying. But WWE being WWE, we're probably going to see it at next year's Mania.
Yeah.
That's just how they roll. So, from there, we got the United States Championship match. Damien Priest going against Sheamus. I know I talked about they could add a kickoff match, but this kind of has that feel to it. It's not so much the participants. It's just that the feud doesn't really have heat. So I could see this being something to get people to tune in and it end up still being a good match. Damien Priest has everything you would want in a big guy. He can move. He's agile. He can talk on the mic. Has a unique look. But I miss the heel Damien Priest. I don't really care for him as a baby. He doesn't look like a babyface. And they have him in this babyface role. I just wish he was a heel. I really do. But outside of that, I'm going to give it to Priest. I think Priest will take the title off Sheamus because Sheamus isn't doing a damn thing with it. Hell, I forgot he was even the U.S. champ. I forgot there was the U.S. championship. So, and he won that thing at Mania. Think about that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you that I think Priest will win. However, I disagree with you. I actually think Priest works well as a face. I think he's like you from the NXT days. I thought he would maintain the heel persona, but he didn't. But I think he has won me over as a face. So I think he'll win. And I've also heard that backstage, everybody loves Damien Priest. I think Vince loves him. So, yeah, I think he gets over. And I think he's going to be a good face champion for a while. But I'm looking forward to the heel turn eventually.
Hopefully, I don't know. You know how stubborn Mr. McMahon is. So,
Yeah.
okay, let's get this one out the way, because I know this is gonna get a lot of talking points on our show. Eva Marie with Dewdrop versus Alexa Bliss. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so this is a one-on-one match. And do we really think Eva Marie is going to wrestle?
No.
I think, look, I don't really care. I feel bad for Alexa. She's going to have 70,000 people chanting, "We want Wyatt," while she's trying to wrestle this match. But I'll say she'll win. But I'm not looking forward to this one at all.
At all. And I'm going to keep it short. Alexa will win. It'll be a bunch of foolishness. I don't know how much magic they're going to be able to do, if Lily's going to be a part of this whole situation, and or what. But, yeah. Look, it was cool when it was The Fiend and Alexa. Made sense. You got rid of Bray. Still can't wrap my mind around that one. And man, like you said, they're just not doing her any favors. And they got Las Vegas crowd. Oh man, Jesus! If I'm Alexa Bliss, I'm not happy, because everybody was waiting for the Fiend to come back. She was kind of like the placeholder. We all thought she was just kind of holding the spot, doing the gimmick till he comes back, takes her out, and then he's just the Fiend again. Now that's not the case. Man.
Yeah, and it's not Alexa's fault, but I think people feel like, okay, you're basically stealing this gimmick. It was Bray who brought you in, and now you're taking his gimmick and trying to run with it. They've released Bray. And I know people like Alexa, but her gimmick reminds everyone of the Fiend, who everyone is upset has been released. And you're just putting her in a bad spot.
And she has no other alter ego. It's just her. Like,
no puppets, no puppets.
Well, she has Lily.
Just that damn doll, that don't really do nothing.
Right. It sits up. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, most dolls don't really do anything, but I guess Lily does more than most dolls. Look, to me, it's all dumb, just like the Fiend was dumb. I'm sorry, all you Fiend fans, but you know how I feel. I thought it was dumb. Puppets, catching on fire, burning up, coming back to life, blah. But
come on, y'all gave that what was it? The Firefly Inferno match. Y'all gave that thing A's.
The Inferno, did I give it A's?
I don't know if you gave it an A, but
I guarantee you I did not give it an A. I guarantee you I didn't give it an A. I might not have given it an F, but I did not give it an A.
Yeah, the other three did. Yeah. But okay, we're gonna keep it moving. To me, which is this is also really stupid to me. RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos. I hate this RK Bro shit. It is so childish. And Matt Riddle acting like he's an actual grown child. I can't get with it. When Randy hit the RKO on him, I'm like, okay, well, maybe we'll get Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam. I would much rather see that. No, we're gonna tag up face AJ and Omos, and you know what? They're probably gonna beat AJ and Omos, and then it's gonna just keep. They're gonna keep going with this RK Bro shit. I don't think Omos will take the fall because they still want to protect him, but they want to keep this RK Bro horse shit going. So yeah, I'm gonna pick them as much as it hurts.
Well, wow. So far, we are simpatico on the same page. I think that RK Bro, like you, I am not a fan. I'm a fan of Orton, not a fan of Riddle. I know the fans like this goofy little dynamic between the Viper and this surfer dude, whatever Riddle is. So I think they'll win. I don't think it'll be clean. I mean, there'll be some kind, even though they're the faces, there'll be some kind of shenanigans because, like you said, they want to keep Omos looking strong. But at the same time, I don't know. Well, I guess you could pin AJ clean and it wouldn't be a big deal. He's lost clean before. So either way, look, long story short, RK Bro wins.
Yep. All right. Edge versus who I call the Friday Night Idiot, Seth freaking Rollins. I want Seth freaking Rollins to come back. That same guy that stomped out Lesnar and Reigns at WrestleMania 31, who was running the Authority, who couldn't be beat, who was a wrestling ring general. Not somebody coming out week after week after week, dressed up like he's about to run a circus. He looks the fucking fool, okay? And he talks like it. I do think, though, I will say this. I think he will, while that's his character, I think because it's Edge and because they had that, I think they had some altercation years back. And I think that's going to resurface again. I think they'll have a dynamite match. I think he can give, I think this will probably be Edge's best match since coming back in ring. I think this will be the best one. And I'm going to give the win to Edge. He's had a rough go, so to speak, since his return. Hasn't successfully won a championship yet. Lost to Randy one of the times. So I think it's time for him to just get a win, and he'll probably chase the championship one more time. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Edge. I'm gonna say Edge wins.
Okay, well, first of all, look, Seth Rollins is from Davenport, about 2.5 hours north of where I'm living right now. So I love Seth Rollins. I like the new gimmick. I miss the Monday Night Messiah. I love that character. I don't care. But I'm in agreement with you. Edge has had too many losses on the big stage. He needs a win on the big stage, and I think he gets it this Saturday. I don't think that will be the end of the feud, and I think that eventually Rollins will get a win in the series. He may even win the majority of the matches in this series. But on Saturday night, I believe Edge will win.
All right. Yeah. That man, that crowd as well is gonna go nuts when they hear, "You think you know me?" And
I'm telling you, the pops that Edge has been getting, bruh, and like I said, you're going to have 70,000 people at this one. They're going to blow the roof off of that building. Edge is going to get a huge pop, and if he wins, first of all, I didn't say this. I think this could be the show stealer. Both of these guys, we know they can go, and they can give us maybe one of the greatest matches we've ever seen at a SummerSlam if they bring it like we know they can bring it. So I'm looking forward to it, but I do think that Edge needs this win more than Rollins, and I think he'll get it.
Yeah. Edge needs to win, and I think he'll get it, and I think he'll once again eventually challenge for the championship and then win that too. I think that's the trajectory. All right. Here's an interesting one for you. You got the boss, Sasha Banks, and the EST, the WWE. This one's interesting to me. It was, and this goes back to WrestleMania. These two have actual history. It's one of the few matches on the card that there's a story building up to it. The way they brought Sasha Banks back, I thought was perfect. Wasn't really telegraphed. Personally, I didn't know she was coming back that SmackDown. I just happened to be watching. So it all worked out for me. And I see if they did more of this, at least trying to be subtle, not telegraphing everything that they do, and let us pick up on what's going on and then letting it play out. Even if we know, it's okay. I just don't like being beat over the head with shit like I'm stupid. You know, she comes out and hugs Bianca. Like, okay, yeah, they're gonna have a match. She's gonna turn on her. That's what happened. Set up the whole feud. Perfect. And look, there's nobody that's gonna disagree with Sasha on wanting this match. Not only did she take your title, she took your flesh off of your body. Okay? With that whip. That was brutal.
Oof.
So, yeah. I think between this and Edge and Rollins, I think one of these two could steal the show. I think the ladies could do a bit better of a job than this time. I think the emotion, the jitters won't be there so much, and they can just focus on the work. So yeah, but as far as winners go, I'm gonna say it's gonna be boss time again, and Bianca's gonna be back on the chase because baby faces do better when they're chasing.
Well, damn, man, I'm waiting for us to have our first split. But once again, I'm in agreement. I think the boss wins it. I think it'll be a better match than it was at Mania. But I think Sasha gets over. I think it will be hard fought. And I think Bianca will look strong in a loss. But the boss, the legit boss, will once again reign as SmackDown Women's Champion.
We might disagree on this one.
Oh, I can't wait.
A lot of people probably could disagree with me on this one. And I might be wrong. I might be, putting more or thinking too hard on this whole thing. But Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. This whole thing with the sword, I'm kind of over it. And I know this is probably everybody's looking at it like, oh, this is a way for Drew to get a win and be in the mid card and just still kind of be hanging around and all that. Yeah. They got to do something with Jinder, though, in my opinion. They can't have him just coming in and start losing again. And it won't be clean. It'll be some undercut, underhanded way. But somehow, I think Jinder's going to get the win. I think Jinder is going to go over this time because I don't think they're ready for this feud to end. So yeah, I'm going to say Jinder Mahal.
Okay, well, we have our first split. Even though I agree with much of what you said, and I can see it happening, and if it happened, I wouldn't be shocked about it. But I still think they believe in Drew being champion, being the franchise at some point. He took what I thought was a shocking loss at Mania, even though I was glad Bobby got the win, and I feel like Bobby was worthy and deserved it. I predicted Drew, and I thought that was a shocking loss. So I don't know if you want to have McIntyre take another, what I would consider a shocking loss to Jinder Mahal, even with, and I wish I could remember the gentleman's name, his assistants, I can't. And I apologize for
Shanky
that.
and Veer.
Shanky and, yeah, there you go, and Veer. Even though with them probably at ringside and shenanigans could happen, I could see Drew taking a loss, and it wouldn't be clean, and it would be an ongoing rivalry. But I'm going to say Drew gets over. Man, I don't feel overly confident about it, but I'm just going to say they're not going to have. I'm the only reason I'm going to pick Drew is because I'm going to say they're not going to let him take another loss, whether clean or unclean, on a very big stage. You're really, really.
You got to have some shock factor on the show to make people go, well, damn, what are they doing?
Well, okay. I look, man, yeah, we've seen that happen plenty of times in WWE, and maybe we'll see it again. But I'm going to say that Drew gets over, but maybe post-match we'll see Jinder and Veer and Shanky beat him down to continue the feud, but Drew will still get the win.
Yeah. No. We'll see. Yeah. I do hate that they're trying to make up all this stuff. It's kind of like with Cena and Roman. You have history with these two. They were in a faction together years ago. Why y'all trying to make up new stuff? We know the history. We're not stupid. Just bring up, hey, we were in this lame ass group together, and Jinder could say, it was your fault it didn't succeed or whatever. You didn't pull your weight, and you didn't help me when I was an alcoholic and this, that, and the other. Excuse me. Bring some reality into it, make it feel real. No. We're gonna play dress up and bring swords and shit into the fray. Like, it's Power Rangers now.
And Angela, that's the name of the sword.
And yeah, I don't mean to disrespect Drew and the sword. I know that's named after his late mother and all, but it's more so the fact that when you are a Drew McIntyre and you look like Drew McIntyre, you don't need no damn sword. You are the sword, okay?
I got you.
Period. All right. Into the nitty gritty here. Nikki Ash, or Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, defending her Raw Women's Championship against who you and Book call the GOAT now. She the GOAT in y'all mind. Y'all done put
best wrestler in the world, Charlotte Flair.
Flair.
This is going to be a thing on our podcast, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it a thing on every podcast. Charlotte Flair, best wrestler in the world,
against Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Now this, I'm going to call out as the show stealer. I'm going to call this one the show stealer, officially. Because what Nikki and Charlotte did on Raw, now you're adding Rhea into the mix, who might not be quite there yet. But it's kind of like what we talked about with Cena earlier. If she's not the focal point, if she can work off other people, she's great. You know, we've seen her in person at the War Games match. She was fantastic. Both times. And she's been great with Charlotte. So now you add in Nikki ASH, who, for all intents and purposes, has never had an issue in the ring. And her new character, fans are behind it. Little girls are all behind it. I guarantee it's going to be millions of kids dressing up as Nikki ASH for Halloween. So all that to look forward to. As far as the match goes, who's going to win? I think it's time for Nikki ASH to become a full-time superhero. I think she's going to somehow, some way make it happen, and she's going to save the day. She's going to rise above and still be champ. Because I am a believer in Nikki. I love the gimmick. I love what she's doing, and I love that this all came from her mind. She made this up, and she's making it work, and it made her a champion. I have nothing but respect for it. Love it, and I hope not only do I think she's going to win, I hope she wins.
Wow. Well, when Nikki first introduced this gimmick, I thought it was terrible. I thought before I knew it was her idea, I thought it was WWE's idea, and I thought it was a terrible, terrible thing to do to Nikki. But turns out it was her idea, and you know what? She has made it work. I like it. It's grown on me. I didn't think that it would. Still, this is a hard prediction for me to make. I do feel certain that Rhea is not going to be the winner. The only question is it going to be Nikki or Charlotte? And I would love for it to be Charlotte, but I think for right now, I think, especially with it being a triple threat, it just makes it easier for Nikki to retain than if it was. We've seen her lose one-on-one matches to both Rhea and Charlotte. With it being a triple threat, I don't know. In my mind, it just makes it easier for Nikki to get the win. And I'm going to say that she gets it because WWE still believes in this character. I don't know how it will happen. Will it be clean? I think it'll be clean.
Well,
will it be convincing?
Threat, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
There's no disqualification.
Yeah, look, without overthinking it and taking too long to make my prediction, I'm going to say that Nikki ASH retains because WWE still believes in her character.
Okay. All right. Well, we kind of talked about it before we came on here, and we all were hoping and praying that we would finally get that big box office match for SummerSlam that we've been dying to see for years and years and years, and still not getting it. But, you know, this other name got thrown in the hat, and everybody knows that listens to the show. If it's your first time watching, hey, understand. I grew up with WCW. I was a huge Goldberg fan. I watched the streak. I was able to see a live match with him as the champion while he was still undefeated. So, so a lot of love and respect for the man. It's not so much him that's my problem. It's just what they've done with him, I guess. His usage in WWE, I guess, is the issue. Man looks great, 54 years old. I hope I look half that good at 54. I don't even look like that now. So he looks great. Promos, you know, the problem with the promos is they script him. He doesn't need to be scripted. Just go out there and be Goldberg. Say your few little things, be yourself, and be done. I think they let him be himself more this past Monday on Raw, and that promo was way better. And it was cool to see his son with his football team lined up. He looks, I don't know how, but he looks even bigger 2 weeks later than he did when he was in a regular T-shirt. He looks bigger in his football jersey. Gage, he looks great. Goldberg looks great. It was documented that he actually had way more time to get in shape for this match, as you can. It shows. So this was pretty much WWE's plan for a long time. That was going to be Goldberg and Lashley. And I'm going to stick with what I initially said in the group chat because I said it. I'm going to stick with it. Goldberg will win the match. And Big E will come down and cash in on William Scott Goldberg, and then he will become the WWE champion. That's my prediction. I'm sticking with it.
Wow. Well, we have our first split. I think that Lashley will win. Now, your scenario, would it shock me? It wouldn't shock me, but I guess to me, it just seems like that would be a little too soon. And do you really want Big E cashing in on Goldberg, who is a face? I mean, the crowd would probably pop anyway, but to me, it seems like it's better for Big E if you have him cash in on a heel. Big E is a big face, and having him cash in on a legend, another big face, because the crowd will probably really pop after Goldberg beats Lashley, and then so you'd have Big E ruin that moment by cashing in on Goldberg. Maybe the crowd buys it, maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to say that Lashley wins for as long as it lasts, 5-6 minutes, maybe 7. It will be physical. It might even be a little brutal. It'll be physical. We're going to see some spears. We're going to see big guy moves. It's not going to be no technicality at all. It's just going to be a physical match, and that's the way it should be. But I'm going to say that Lashley does retain. I'm going to say that Big E does not play a part in this match. But yeah, so we have our first split. I'm going to say that Lashley retains in what will be a physical match. Goldberg will lose, but he won't look bad losing because he's going to take Lashley to his limit in those 6 or 7 minutes that it lasts.
The Big E thing I say because he is dying to wrestle Goldberg, and there's not a whole lot of scenarios where that can play out. He's got the Money in the Bank briefcase, and here's Goldberg going for the championship. And if they want Roman to remain champ till Mania, so he can face Big Cuz, the man, the true tribal chief. Let's keep it real around here. Let's keep it none of that shit's going on if Dwayne isn't Dwayne, okay?
Right.
So that's why I'm sticking with it. I think that's how it's going to play out. You got to have some shock factor. This show is not going to go, straight up and down, match, ending. There's going to be surprises. They've got to have they've got to make this show as memorable as humanly possible. Okay. Because who knows what's going to happen once the winter comes, once the fall comes, and then people start having allergies and all this stuff ramps up again. So they have really got to pull out all the stops in case this shit starts shutting down again.
Well, man, let's hope not. I know that here in Iowa, vaccinations have gone up. And I don't want to bog down our podcast with this, but I'll just leave it at that. Vaccinations have gone up. So let's just hope that trend continues nationwide, worldwide, so we can crush this thing.
Word. And last but not least, oh man, the tribal chief putting out his Universal Championship against Mr. Missionary himself, John Cena. All right.
I could say something about that, but I will not.
This thing has kind of been percolating for a while. I think you saw the same interview I did where Reigns was talking about Cena. Certain people need to stay in Hollywood. They don't want to see me in the ring. This is my yard, so to speak. Obviously, I can't even say obviously because it's Cena. this is always the problem with him. You can't ever count him out. I don't know his what his contract is as far as how much time he's going to be with WWE. I don't outside of a TV series, I know he has to shoot. That outside of that, I don't know of any other further Hollywood obligations he has. But if it's just a TV series and that's the only thing he's got going on, could he balance Raw or balance SmackDown, so to speak, and shooting a TV series? Is there going to be conflict? Because ever since The Rock hurt himself in their match at WrestleMania 29, there's kind of been a lot of changes in Hollywood where they're saying, okay, well, you can't do this thing over here and shoot our movie, because The Rock's injury where he had that hernia, but he also tore his part of his quadricep off the bone. You know, he had to have all that surgery. It ended up pushing back Hercules' production by some months.
Right.
So that kind of all plays a factor now when you think about your Cena's, your Rocks. Batista says he's retired, so I don't think I have to worry about him. But I think it's only appropriate that Roman wins the match. Having Cena win, you did all this build up for Roman. If you have Cena come in here and win, you kill all that. All that credibility is gone, flushed down the toilet. It's not like, I didn't like it, but it's not like a Karrion Kross situation where he can still is building himself up to be that superstar. So while that loss didn't make sense from a booking standpoint, it's not a career killer. This would kill the Tribal Chief if he lost. So he has to win. Cena needs to put somebody over and really put them over and go back to Hollywood. Tribal Chief needs to walk out of SummerSlam. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I'm going to pick the Tribal Chief, the head of the table. All right, the big dog, whatever you want to call him. I don't feel as comfortable about it as I did a while back. I know that Cena is going to go back to Hollywood. I know he's not coming back to wrestle full time, but that doesn't stop WWE from putting the strap on him. If they think they can have Cena around for even just a few matches, a few of the big matches, have him at Royal Rumble, okay, have him at Survivor Series, that's enough for them to put the strap on him. And let's not forget, if Cena were to win, a true WWE guy would break my GOAT's record of 16 titles. Cena would have 17. I believe that Vince wants him to have 17. And Cena can say what he wants. I believe he wants 17. With all that said, I'm going to stick with my prediction. Like I said, even though I'm not as certain about it as I was, I'm going to say Reigns wins, because one thing I will say about Cena, and I know Cena has a lot of haters. I'm not in that corner. I hate his character, but him as a dude, as far as wrestling, I think he wants to pass the torch. I think he wants to give back to the business that made him not just one of the biggest wrestlers in history, but now has made him a legitimate movie star. I think he wants to give back. He wants to pass the torch, and he will pass it to Roman Reigns. If, however, he does manage to win number 17, I'm saying it now, I want 72-year-old Flair to get back into the ring, and I want him to win number 17. I'm going to root for old-ass Ric Flair to wrestle again and to win the champion. Yes. If Cena wins number 17, I'm telling you, I'm jumping on that train right now. As soon as Cena wins that title, I'm jumping on that train. Hopefully I won't have to. Hopefully my prediction comes true and Reigns will win. Cena will pass the torch, and truly Reigns can then claim to be head of the table, tribal chief, because we all know Cena is not coming back to wrestling full-time, and his days as champion, if he loses Saturday night, are probably over.
Well, I agree. I do agree. And I think SummerSlam will be a spectacle. That match for sure will have the most crowd participation because it's going to be split. There's going to be Reigns fans. There's going to be Cena fans. And you can count on the environment being somewhat hostile, to say the least.
Quickly, I know this is your thing, but can I throw a couple of – we haven't done this in a while. Can I throw a couple of chance or no chances out there?
Oh, man, please do. Please do.
Okay, all right. Chance or no chance. We know rumors are she's going to be in attendance. Does she actually come out? Becky Lynch, chance or no chance that she makes an appearance in the ring at SummerSlam?
I'm going to say no chance. I think they are saving her to do her own thing. There's been even though there has been a lot of Becky chants, I think she's still not quite ready. She's still in the smoker. She's not quite done. It's a slow and steady roast. You got to take your time. So, no, I'm going to say no chance.
Okay, and then my final one, chance or no chance. Brock Lesnar makes an appearance at SummerSlam.
Now that one is interesting. I will say chance because if what I predicted does not happen, I could see them setting up Survivor Series, and you plant that seed now of that face-off with Lashley and Brock, or you could even go Brock and Reigns. There's number of ways you can do. I'll go chance on that one.
Okay. I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to say chance Becky shows. I'm going to say no chance Brock does because we have a resurgence. And I think Brock's whole thing is I'm not coming back. I mean, we have crowds, but are we going to keep the crowds? And so that's the one thing I think might keep Brock from coming back.
Okay. Well, speaking of live crowds, we will be in attendance for a live event coming up here in Chicago. AEW All Out here in the Chi. And I have mentioned on previous shows that I am going all out. Now, this isn't usually my thing to do.
Uh-oh.
You know, I had to debut the 3GW Le Champion.
Oh, well, look at that. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'll be wearing this at All Out.
All right.
TNT Championship. Now, this is the original tribute to Brody Lee. That's why I wanted this one.
Nice. Well, you know, unless I borrow a belt from Mike, I cannot wear my belt because it's not an AEW belt. But I'm glad that you two will definitely be representing AEW with your belts. Sure. I did order a T-shirt today, however, and all I'll say is that I did not buy this shirt from the AEW shop.
Okay. Well, I'll be interested to see that shirt. I still have to order mine, but I definitely wanted to come on here and debut the championship, and I'll give y'all a close up there.
It looks good, man. It looks good. Yeah, it's nice. I'm glad you finally got a belt, man. Now, now we're all good. Everybody got a belt now.
Everybody's got a belt, and I'm the only one with this one for the moment. I think Book will eventually get it. That's fine, and that's okay. But I at least was the first to have it.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you know him. He's got every other belt in the world, but
yeah, it's bigger than I thought it was going to be. Not that heavy, but it's still. I like it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, look.
Red's my favorite color, so.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, if he lets me borrow one of his so that we all three have one, maybe I'll go ahead and take one. But, yeah, the one that he got from me, obviously I can't bring because that's not an AEW belt. But, all right, man, good. Glad. I'm looking forward to this card, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to the show. First of all, I'm just looking forward to being at a live show, period. But this is also our first AEW show, so extra jacked about it.
Yep. All right, people. So we got that coming up. And make sure you check out our other shows, Money in the Bank. We got the Rocky series coming up, starting with the Scorpion King. And we will be we got to discuss Rampage this week. I was wrong that it was the debut. The debut of Rampage was past week. But this Friday is the one to watch. Especially being from Chicago. This Friday is the Rampage to watch. So make sure you check it out. And like I said, All Out will be in the building. I have other things for the crew, All Out. So we will all be decked out. We're gonna be decked out for sure. So check it out. And thank you all again for watching, listening. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. Do you agree with our predictions? What do you think? Do you think there could be a cash in? Do you think the tribal chief will get dethroned? Let us know in the comment section below. Shoot us an email at thirdgenwrestling@gmail.com with your requests for retrospectives or any show. Raw, it could be a Raw, it could be a Smackdown, it could be a pay-per-view, it could be a WCW Nitro. If it's on Peacock, we can do it. Hopefully, that happens. Are we gonna get a poll up this weekend? So there will be a prediction poll on Instagram, as always, and for SummerSlam and Takeover. So,
okay, cool.
Ambassador.
All right, folks. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And as the real Big E said, let's hear from you. Let's get some show ideas. Let's get your predictions. Let's help grow the show. All right?
Right on. Take care, everybody. We'll speak to you all this weekend. It's going to be a busy one, full of wrestling. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Y'all enjoy. Take care.